What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome to Fudge Muppet. Today we're giving you a little sneak peek at Wolfenstein 2. We actually got to play the game at an event here in Sydney. It was a whole lot of fun and we got 2 hours with the game. So it wasn't just a small bit, we got to play quite a lot. We got to play the first mission in the wheelchair, which is just crazy and manic, and we got to play another level later on. And the story, from what I've seen in these levels, is really good. It's just that we didn't get to see all the story. They left out a connecting bit between both levels. However, aside from that, everything was really cool. So if you've played the first Wolfenstein, you're probably looking for that really gnarly, visceral, action-packed fun kind of game. And this really delivers on that, but of course, it's improved. The other thing that's still there is that real scary Nazi overlord vibe. And you see a lot of this in the opening scene of the second mission we got to play as we walk through the streets, and you see people in their KKK uniforms, and even the way they talk just seems very authentic. Even on that note, the voice acting in the game is quite good, and there's a lot of attention to detail, heaps of little collectibles and things to find out in the world, whether you're in an action-packed mission or just walking the streets at the start of the mission we played. Things can also go a variety of ways. While it is a kind of linear game, there's lots of methods that you can use to accomplish the same goal, and things that can happen. For example, if you just stand around and annoy people in the street scene on that mission we were playing, they will get angry and you can actually get your identity found out, and then you get attacked, and at that point you don't have any weapons and you'll just die. But anyway, the missions themselves, the action, this is where the fun is, especially when it comes to dual wielding. All the guns are really cool, the stealth's really cool, and the melee is also really good. It kind of feels like Doom, where you just slash someone with a tomahawk or just, break someone's neck. There's also weapon modifications for these guns, and you can find weapon mod kits during your missions. For example, I found a scope for one of the rifles I was using, although I did regret that because I started dual wielding the rifles and the scopes weren't really useful. But there were other things that are cool, such as extended ammunition, increased damage, all of that kind of juicy stuff. And obviously we have things like grenades and throwables like your tomahawk too. Another thing I really want to talk about and just give special props to was the wheelchair mission at the start of the game. That was a whole lot of fun. You're literally zooming through a ship on a wheelchair, shooting Nazis with a submachine gun in one hand while you push your wheelchair with the other. It is a little bit silly, but you don't really feel silly while you're doing it. You're still taking the game very seriously, even though you've just done a stealth melee kill while you're confined to a wheelchair. The other thing, obviously, besides the weapons and all that, is the enemy types themselves. In the base that we were invading, there were all kinds of robots and enemies with different tactics that you have to respond to in your playstyle. For example, some enemies are really fast, dashing around, and one of the best ways to take them down is actually not to shoot them and to simply get a melee kill on them, whereas other enemies will need a ton of firepower straight in the head to take down. There are also turrets you can then take from enemies. For example, one of the big robots with laser arms, you can actually pick up one of the laser arms and kind of use it as like a big handheld turret. And while you're doing all this, do know that the difficulty is actually pretty fair. There's a bunch of difficulty settings in there, but even just on the normal one, things aren't easy. Like, you can't just run out there, guns blazing, and expect not to die. You can do that on the easiest difficulty though. In fact, you can just run through on the easiest difficulty, meleeing everyone if that's your style. However, for those people that are more serious, this game will also provide a challenge if that's what you're looking for. But that's basically our whole experience with it. We didn't get a whole heap of time with it. We only got 2 hours, but they were very fun 2 hours. I'm really keen to see the rest of the story unfolding, and I'm definitely keen to go kill some Nazis and play the full game when it comes out. Even the main longer mission we got to play, you're sneaking into a base and silently taking out Nazis, or you can go guns blazing if you like. Then you're getting in a train, and as the train's rolling down really fast, you can go through shooting everyone. And actually, that is one of the examples I was talking about, how you can do things differently. For example, there's a lever on the train which you can actually activate to slow the train down. However, if you're paying attention, you can actually speed the train up. Oh, and there's also a gigantic robot that is a lot of fun to fight, but don't underestimate him. And that pretty much wraps up our experience with the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed the footage you got to see. I really wish we could show you more. However, we didn't exactly get a lot of time to gather footage. Social media links are in the description. My name is Michael, and I look forward to nerding out with you again very soon.